Hey everybody, it's Stephanie Ward of FireflyCoaching.com. I'm here today with Amel Darraghi, a global entrepreneur who is the founder of Tandem Nomads and Look and See.
Blink and see.
Blink and see! That was close. Close.
But it's close. Blink and see.
The links are below so you can check those out. So Amel is here today to share her top marketing strategies with us so we can learn from her. So what do you got on your mind?
Hi Stephanie, hello everybody. So before I start sharing my strategies, I just wanted to say how I think this is a great idea that you have to focus on 3 strategies. And if there's one thing that helped me grow my business, is actually the acronym FOCUS, that stands for Follow One Course Until Success.
Nice.
And we have so much content out there, we have so many advice, and this is the great thing with nowadays technology and everything, we can all learn about so many marketing tips. But at some point I think it's great to also focus and choose for ourselves the 3 marketing strategies that we just stick to, instead of trying everything and dropping. So I really encourage, thank you for having these great ideas, and if I had one message, it would be great that we learn from so many other people, but once you get to learn so much marketing techniques, then focus on what works for you. It's not because it's working for other people that it works for you. So it's very important to sit down and figure that out.
Excellent. No, that's focus, people. Listen to her. It's a good one. So, great place to start.
Great. All right. So my first strategy, marketing strategy that I think every single person, but this one I think everybody should have, is if you're starting a business or struggling to grow, it's important to focus on a niche. Going back to focus, you know, define your niche. I know that there's this quote that I love that says, if you try to resonate with everybody, you will resonate with nobody. And my business has really took another journey when I decided to go back, instead of trying to talk to everybody, and focus on the smallest niche possible. And my technique to do that is actually to write the story of my avatar. When I decided to launch Tandem Nomads, which is a podcast for expat spouses, I realized I don't even want to target all expat spouses. There's a very specific type of people in the expat world I want to focus, and I wrote the story of this person. Her name is Layla. So take the time to write the story of your avatar. It's even smaller than a niche. It's just one person. And every time that I have a business strategic decision to make, I ask myself, is it what Layla wants? Is it what's going to help Layla? So focus on one niche and the smallest niche possible, and once you master that niche, it will naturally grow. So that's my first strategy.
That is super smart, and I think everyone listening knows this. The problem is they're really scared. So what can you speak to that, about what to do about being afraid that if you niche too small, that you'll be leaving someone out, is what I hear, and or that you're missing out on business?
Well, you miss out if you try to reach out to everybody. That's the thing. So
right.
Your fear should be trying to reach out to everybody and not reaching anybody. That's my biggest fear. And I did have that fear of not reaching anybody. But how can you be effective with everybody if you can't be effective with one person?
Absolutely.
So think of that ideal customer and how you can reach that one customer, and one leads to another one. So we're living in a time where everything has to be fast, and this is one thing that I don't want to give the impression that marketing is easy and quick and comes with results the next day. It's not true. So success comes step after step and with patience. So I think we deal with fear, but accepting that things cannot happen from a day to another.
That's such a great tip, and I agree 100%. So it's just really trust the process. Yeah. Try it, prove, give it 6 months, try it, and if you don't like it, go back to trying to serve everybody.
Exactly.
Okay, what else do you have for us?
Okay, the second one is consistency. For me, that's another thing that everybody should do. Once you focus on certain strategies, just be consistent with it. Like I just said, nothing works from a day to another, and you need to give time to things to work, first of all. And second, marketing is really like dating. If you don't show up to a date, you're a cheater. So, for example, I have this podcast, and my podcast is once a week, and it's always on Tuesday, and my newsletter is always on Wednesday, and people are expecting it. So and that's the way to create loyalty. Even if people don't come back every Tuesday or every Wednesday, they know if they need to, they can, connect and find you that day. It's like office hours. It's your open office hours, and consistency is this is just an example, but consistency is what brings success. Again, if you do things like that all the time, nobody will know what you're standing for and where to meet you if they want to meet you, and your message also has to be consistent. Like if you have one strong vision, one strong message, repeat it, repeat, repeat, repeat. Repeating is the secret of every, to get people to remember what is your message, what you have to offer.
Yeah, that's so true. Repetition is key. People think, well, I've already said this. Well, you cannot say it enough. And I know consistency is not sexy, but it works.
It works.
It works. Okay, cool. What else?
The third one, I've learned that from watching how movies are launched and how TV shows are ran in American networks, is how to launch. And I always thought that, we focus a lot on the launch itself. But actually when you want to launch a product, a service, or even whatever you want to launch to the public, you have to prepare the people to welcome it.
Get them excited about it.
Exactly, get them excited about it. So every time I launch a conference, I launch a podcast episode, or an event, or a product, or workshop, anything, I prepare people, telling them this is what's going to come in a month, and during that time frame, I build the content around that, so that you build up the expectancy, so that once you launch, people are already ready to give that credit card and pay. So it's like movies. I don't know if you've seen like big blockbusters movies where you see that ad for at least 6 months before the movie's out, because they want people to be ready when the movie's out.
Right.
And it's the same for everything. Get people prepared when you're ready to launch, so you don't have to waste time in promoting. You already did it.
Right. Do it beforehand.
Yeah, beforehand.
You mentioned, I think, did you say a month before? Is there like a time frame that you recommend?
I think it really depends on each one's businesses.
Okay.
It really depends on each business, but each of us, nobody knows your business better than you, and nobody should know your audience better than you. So the main message is like prepare your audience to welcome whatever you have to sell with valuable content. Not just, that's the thing, let's not advertise to advertise. Advertising should be a service to people, not an intrusion. And that's what I do. I've been preparing my audience for 1 year now. So I've been planning 1 year to launch my program, because I've been building up this audience from scratch, and I've been spending 1 year preparing them, and now they're ready to buy. But I prepare them with valuable content. I prepare them with things they really are implementing in their lives. I'm giving it for free because I'm creating that relationship and that trust, so that once I launch, I don't need to convince them anymore that I'm trustworthy.
That's a great point, and that ties back to what you said before, that it doesn't happen overnight. Yeah. It's a process. It's about building relationships over time, so that they know that you do deliver good content. So when you do come at the moment to say, I'm launching something, I would say maybe 4 to 6 weeks is a good general time frame. Yeah. That they are excited about it, they want to hear more, and then like you said, when it's launch day, everyone's like, where is it? I have to have it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think that's a good 3 to 4 weeks. It might be a good average in general. I think so too. Yeah.
Right, and just know your business, know your audience. Depends on the channels you're using, how often you publish your newsletter, how often you're on social media.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, people, if you cannot take these 3 tips and do something with them, I don't know what to say. These are good, golden, hot tips. Anything you want to say just to wrap up?
Rock your world.
Take action.
Take action and focus. Don't get too distracted with too many tips, although we're giving tips here. But at some point it's very good to learn, but also take action. At some point just make a decision and go with it, try it out. And if it doesn't work, at some point it's also good to say stop, but give it some time. You also have to trust your guts. But to trust your guts, you have to also know that you've done your homework by understanding your audience, making sure that you know how to fix a problem, and if your product does fix a problem. That's one thing that I see a lot, especially in the startup world when we're talking about it. A lot of people start launching ideas without realizing that actually they're not fixing a problem. So I guess that's also a big thing. Make sure that you know how you're fixing that problem and it's relevant for people you're targeting.
That's a huge last big point there, and the idea that you need to learn, listen, observe, plan, strategize, and at some point take action. So don't keep it all in your head. Keep it a combination of the both.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Exactly.
Thank you so
That's
much
fun.
for being here, Mel.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
your tips. Anybody who's listening, please leave your comments below and tell us which one of these three that you plan to pursue, and we will see you next time.
Bye bye.